chosen one. As you listen to my voice, I want you to simply notice the sudden, heavy stillness settling in the room around you. You aren't here by a glitch in a system. You were led here by a divine orchestration that has been tracking your faithfulness in the dark. You have been exhausted from being the strong one, driving yourself to your own rescue while bleeding in silence, thinking no one sees the weight you carry. But right now, feel that strange heat rising in your chest. That is not anxiety. That is your spirit recognizing its royal guard. Heaven has officially moved you from the waiting room to the war room, because you are becoming too important to remain unguarded. While you were weeping in secret, the Father was signing a celestial security contract for your next 40 days. Deep in your mind, align your spirit with this truth. You are no longer the prey being hunted. You are the priority being escorted. Before we move forward, subscribe to align with thousands of awakened souls. Like if your spirit confirms this word, and in your heart, say a silent yes to this protection. Comment 777 in the space below to lock this frequency into your timeline. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because I am going to reveal the 5 specific forms of attack the enemy has planned for your next week, and we will perform a ceremony to seal your protection forever. There is a meeting about your safety happening in the spirit realm right now. You have been feeling like a target, haven't you? You have been looking over your shoulder in every empty hallway. You felt the cold stares and the sudden, unexplained bad luck. You thought you were being hunted. But the truth is, heaven is hiring security for you, not because you are in danger, but because you are about to become very, very important. There is an object inside you, a divine blueprint that the enemy is desperate to steal before it manifests. You need to understand why this is happening now. The enemy sees your crown before you do. In the Bible, Psalm 91:11 says, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." In the original Hebrew, the word for guard is shama. It doesn't just mean to watch over you, it means to hedge about with thorns. Imagine a wall of thorns so sharp and so thick that nothing can touch you without being torn apart. You aren't just being watched. You are being walled in by the divine. Those thorns are the reason some people have suddenly left your life. You have felt so lonely lately, haven't you? You sit at your dinner table and feel like an undercover agent from another planet. You speak their language, but you know your soul comes from a different star system. You feel a glass wall between you and the people you love. But listen to me, chosen one. That domestic alienation is actually a high-level security protocol. Heaven is clearing the room. The Father is removing the people who cannot go where you are going. He is silencing the noise so the royal guard can move in without interference. Your loneliness is not a punishment. It is an operational security measure. But there is a reason your security has felt leaky lately. You have been feeling watched, and not in a good way. You walk into a room and the air feels thick and wrong. Your mind starts racing with raw thoughts. Am I going crazy? Am I just delusional? You type a message and delete it 5 times because you are scared of being too much. You are exhausted from saving everyone else while realizing no one is coming to save you. This happens because your brain is stuck in beta frequency. Beta is the state of stress and red alert. When you are in beta, your spiritual aura is noisy. You are broadcasting your location to every low-level spirit and every jealous person in your circle. You thought you just needed to pray harder to feel safe. That is a false summit. Prayer is the fuel, but your brain frequency is the engine. If the engine is vibrating at the frequency of fear, You are making yourself a visible target. You are trying to listen to the divine guard on a channel full of static. Look at the patterns in the ancient scrolls. Joseph was in a prison, forgotten by everyone. Moses was in the wilderness, tending sheep for 40 years. They felt abandoned. They felt invisible. But they were actually under the most intense divine escort in history. This is called strategic invisibility. Heaven kept Joseph in that cell, not to punish him, but to hide him from the assassins until the day he was needed to run the nation. Heaven kept Moses in the desert to burn out his old identity so he could carry the weight of a new nation. In 2 Kings 6:17, the prophet Elisha prayed for his servant's eyes to be opened. The servant only saw the physical enemy surrounding them, but when his eyes opened, he saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around them. This is the pattern. When the physical world looks the most dangerous, the spiritual protection is at its highest density. You aren't alone. You are just currently unable to see the fire chariots parked in your driveway. Your wilderness is not wasted time. It is your training certificate to work with this royal guard. You must learn the protocol of silence. Many of you are leaking your destiny to people who are praying for your downfall. You tell your dreams to people who can only see your scars. Stop. From this moment on, you must apply the 3-circle protocol. Imagine 3 circles around you. The first circle, the innermost one, is for you and God alone. This is where your secret dreams and the things you sense in your spirit stay. Never speak these out loud to anyone. The enemy cannot read your mind, but he can hear your words. Do not give him your coordinates. The second circle is your inner circle. This is for a maximum of 1 to 3 people who have proven they can carry the weight of your glory without being jealous. Only share with them for prayer coverage, not for validation. The third circle is everyone else. This is the world and your acquaintances. In this circle, you only share results after they have manifested. You move like a ghost. You build in the dark. Let your results make the noise. If they don't know what you are doing, they cannot ruin it. Silence is not weakness. It is the highest form of spiritual warfare. Now, chosen one, even with this protocol in place, if your internal frequency is still broadcasting the beta waves of fear and stress, you remain a sitting duck. You are like a soldier wearing a bright neon vest in the middle of a night mission. You need to shift to the encrypted frequency. The royal guard that heaven dispatched for you does not communicate on the wavelength of panic. They operate on the theta frequency, the state of divine connection, intuition, and supernatural protection. When your brain is in theta, you become spiritually invisible to low-level attacks, and you become highly receptive to the whispers of your celestial security detail. Ancient mystics spent decades in isolation trying to maintain this exact state. But the good news is, you don't need decades. You don't need a monastery. You need discipline, intentionality, and the willingness to guard your mind with the same ferocity you guard your promises. This is the frequency where heaven can finally reach you clearly, without static. But as you prepare to step into this encrypted frequency and receive this massive protection, there is a voice in your head that we must confront. It is the voice that whispers in the dark when you are alone, the voice that says, "What if I am not ready for this level of blessing? What if I get the power, the wealth, the platform, and I fail publicly? What if this calling destroys me?" Listen to me very carefully. Part of you is terrified of the throne you are about to sit on. You have watched other people get blessed before they were ready, and you watched them crash. You saw them lose their character, their family, their peace. And you are secretly thinking, what if that happens to me? That fear you are feeling right now is not a lack of faith. It is not a sin. It is proof of your wisdom. The people who crashed under the weight of the blessing were the ones who had no fear of it. They grabbed it with arrogance. Your fear means you understand the weight of the crown. Your awareness of the responsibility is exactly what qualifies you to carry it. The Bible speaks directly to this moment. In Proverbs 4:23, it says, "Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life." Most people read that as a nice, generic piece of advice, but look at the context. This was King David passing the baton to his son Solomon, a young man about to inherit the most massive wealth, power, and glory in the ancient world. David did not tell Solomon to guard his gold, his borders, or his armies. He told him to guard his heart, because David knew that when you are on the throne, the enemy does not attack your walls. He attacks your internal command center. If he can corrupt your heart with pride or fear, the kingdom falls from the inside. Heaven is building a wall of security around you, but you must guard the control room, and your new security system is about to be tested. The enemy knows he cannot break through the royal guard by force, so he will try to trick you into stepping outside the perimeter. In the next 40 days, he is going to launch 5 specific stealth attacks. The first trap is the financial bait. Because you have struggled with money for so long, the enemy will present an opportunity that looks like a blessing, but it will require you to compromise your morals or bypass God's timing. It will look like a shortcut. If it forces you to rush or brings confusion, it is bait. Drop it. The second trap is the relationship snare. Someone from your past will suddenly text you just to check in, or a new incredibly attractive person will enter your life and mirror all your desires, but the timing will feel rushed. The enemy uses counterfeit soulmates to pull you out of your encrypted frequency. If they do not respect your boundaries or your season of healing, they are a snare. The third attack is the comparison arrow. You are going to log online and see someone else. Someone who compromised and cheated, getting the exact blessing you have been waiting for. You will feel a bitter jealousy rise in your throat. That is an arrow designed to make you question the justice of God. Bless them out loud and keep walking. Your harvest is not in their field. The fourth attack is the doubt fog. You will wake up one morning feeling completely empty. Your mind will race, telling you that everything God promised you was just your imagination. The fog is designed to make you abandon your post before the breakthrough arrives. When the fog rolls in, do not argue with it. Just read the promises written in your journal out loud until the room clears. The final trap is identity theft. A minor inconvenience will happen. A bill will arrive, a car will break down, and you will suddenly feel exactly like the old broken version of you. The enemy wants you to put your old clothes back on. Refuse. Let me tell you what happens when you hold your ground and stay in the encrypted frequency. 9 months ago, a chosen one, just like you, was listening to this exact teaching. They were on the verge of signing a massive partnership deal that was going to save them from bankruptcy. On paper, it was perfect, but they had been strictly applying the 3-circle protocol and guarding their frequency with intentionality. 5 minutes before the final meeting to sign the papers, they felt a sudden, heavy pressure in their chest. It was not panic. It was a physical block, a security nudge from their unseen guard. It made no logical sense, but they stood up, apologized, and walked out of the building. Their family thought they had lost their mind, but 2 weeks later, the news broke. That entire company was a massive fraud scheme. The leaders were arrested. If this chosen one had signed, they would have been dragged down into federal court and lost everything. That was not luck. That was a royal escort intercepting a bullet. They stayed in the frequency, they obeyed the nudge, and they survived. 3 months later, the real divine blessing arrived from a completely different source, bringing twice the wealth, with 0 sorrow. You are next. Wherever you are right now, whether you are driving, sitting at your desk, or lying in bed, I want you to mentally stand at attention. Picture yourself pulling your shoulders back in the spirit, lift your chin. We are not doing a generic closing prayer. This is a deployment ceremony. This is an activation of your royal guard. Father God, in the mighty name of Yeshua, the King of Kings, I acknowledge that this is a divine moment. I speak to the one listening right now, the one who has wept in the shower so nobody would hear, the one who has stretched their faith until it felt like it would snap. I see you, heaven sees you. Your faithfulness in the dark has qualified you for this light. Right now, I seal the 3-circle protocol into your mind. I decree that you will master strategic silence. I seal the theta frequency of divine protection around your mind. I bind every monitoring spirit that has been tracking your anxiety. You are now invisible to the enemy and radiant to the king. I cancel the assignment of the financial bait. I break the relationship snare. I shatter the comparison arrow. I command the doubt fog to dissolve. And I forbid identity theft from operating in your timeline. I declare that in the next 40 days, you will see the visible evidence of your invisible guard. Doors will open that you did not knock on. Provision will locate you. You are moving from the waiting room to the throne room, chosen one. God is asking you right now, will you carry this weight? Will you steward this protection with wisdom? In your mind, with the full force of your spirit, shout, yes. Make that commitment internally right now. You are commissioned. You are deployed. Go forward and occupy your promise. When the enemy tries to remind you of your past, introduce him to your royal guard. Do not say amen yet. Sit in this heavy, glorious silence for 60 seconds. Feel the shift in the atmosphere.